Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show with SmartRobie. This is the morning for the 20th of March. Time passes so quick as we're already coming to the first quarter of 2023, and it has been a month of surprises as well as volatility that we've seen as the banking sectors continue to rival both in Malaysia and the global sector in here. But this morning we have a news that UBS is buying up or merging of a Credit Suisse, where maybe eventually Credit Suisse will be merged into a much smaller unit. So hopefully that will put to some sort of banking crisis in a contagion mode. As we have seen, a lot of people are comparing to 2008. As we can see, that is giving a lot of jitters into the market. Now remember, market doesn't like volatility. Now on the flip side, the technology stock are getting a little bit of ahead of itself as we are coming to the date, which I just talked about also on the podcast, on the Telegram in a podcast. Make sure you join it too, on the 21st and 22nd of the announcement, whether the statement that were made by Jerome Powell, the Fed statement chairperson, whether there is likely now to raise interest rate, either a smaller interest rate or we are looking for a pause interest rate. But I do think that 25 to 50 basis point is already being projected in there. If it's a 25 basis point, then this will make the so-called fight for inflation a little bit more complicated than it is. But let's get on to what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show. Now, much has been said about the KLCI. Let me just switch to a wider chart. We have seen the KLCI continue to fall in the downtrend, which I'll still explain in here. This is the Bursa side. Let me just get down to the KLCI in here. And this morning, we do have a little bit of movement on the sector. I think many of you already picked it up earlier, is the rubber glove. Now, of course, you will be talking about whether are we seeing a rebound in the rubber glove, yet to be seen. But more important, we also want to check out the background of those sector in here by looking at the VSA 360, or you can check it out on our SmartRobie apps in here. So this morning, lots of active stocks, if you have including Greenpacker, JM, these are the so-called penny stocks. But the KLCI last week was up 20 over points. This morning is backed up to up 10 points. Now remember, the resistance, we are still looking at the 1410, 1450 in here. The support is about 1380. All right, so here we want to look at a chart. Let me just click on the live chart that you see here, and let me just switch to a 1 month chart, and you can see this market, we still have that narrow down track of the railway track. We can see, so this is still pointing downwards. That big move may be what we call a dead cat rebound, which is serve as our agenda this morning in here. Now this morning our agenda, right, it does look like the unchanged, still relatively unchanged, what we have seen so far, that the market is still pretty much in the downtrend sideways for the medium or short term. So if you look at the chart on the left hand side, if the market were to move sideways market, that means tomorrow will be up this morning, or maybe we have some sort of pullback. Now it's down almost 10 points, and if we have pullback, then we'll see this market likely to begin to move into a stage 1, right? But hopefully the dead cat bounce is not going to, because the market's just not going to go down and go straight up like a V recovery. We don't see that. And one of the reasons is because we do see a lot of foreign funds still selling off in here. For those of you who are more advanced and you do feel that you have some sort of edge, the SD2 intraday trade is something that you want to look at. But for our beginner, check out the Robie FA stock, which is in the middle of the chart that you see on the left hand side. The Robie FA list will go through some good dividend stocks and at least give some sort of protection going through in there. All right. So SmartRobie, powered by the Pentagon Guider, which is a proprietary company, and yet previously in the early March 15, which is just about last week, we do pick up some good Pentagon like AirAsia up 38%, Volcano up 32%, and Jantayu up 22% in here. All right, so we always show two sides of the picture. Not all the stocks has turned up nicely as it is. Now if we look back from this, let me just switch to a wider chart here. The KLCI has broken and broke below the 1400. We have seen that, and retest the 1380. At the same time, a lot of analysts out there, especially the fund managers, are looking for, or at least recommending people to buy into this market, especially when it broke through the 1400, where a lot of the institutional stock or high quality stocks like banking stock are really in the bargain. Just like buying public bank below $4 is up, but the rebound may be short, and as such that we have the market only sold, and maybe due to the short covering on the market, that's why we see it in. But foreign funds are still net selling it is, and trend are certainly looking down. So on the market stages, using the VSA plugin, as you can see, we can see lower low. The market is going lower low, and even this high that we see now at the 1410, 1450 seems to be down. But like it or not, the rebound, it's coming soon. As you can see, we have 36 bars previously, which means on the yellow trend zone that you see, 36 bar continue to go down, and right now we are up to 32 bar. So that's why this market is sort of turning, and it should be turning nicely in here. For those of you who wanted to go long, you want to long at the lower number in here, right? And for that one, so it is bearish in the coming future with a major support at 1380 just below here, and the resistance at 1410, 1445 in here. Now look into our hot sector here. You can check from my chart, just switching to perspective on. We do see on top, let me just switch on to the hot sectors for the last Friday were healthcare, plantation, telemedia, construction, and utility. Now the thing with the idea of the hot sectors, where the highest stocks, the changes are on the red pentagon, green pentagon appeared on the top, and you want to be looking at the second and third one. But in this case, we want to be interested on healthcare, because this is the first time we have seen some news about the recovery of the cost that was made by Top Glove, that they need to raise the average selling price due to the cost that they cannot absorb and need to pass on to the customers in here. So that is why we see a lot of recovery in there. But do take note, a lot of analysts is quite right. Despite raising the ASP price, that does not mean profitability is coming, but that did not prevent HATA from rebounding from the since green pentagon for a 21% move. So we can click on the healthcare here. So you just click on that one, and we'll probably hit one more time, and you can see some of the turning of the green pentagon, which is last Friday. We got Top Glove, Hexcare, Kosan, Apex. These are just turned red pentagon. Actually, some of these, Umedic, HATA, which is up 21% since 9th of March. Those of it had turned earlier, and the same also for Supermax, which also turned on the 6th of March. Some of these are the pharmaceutical in here. Overall, just those rubber glove maker are the one that is seems to be doing much better in here. All right. So we can see from the healthcare. Let's take a look at the healthcare. The first one is Top Glove 7113. So we hit that one, and we're going to stock chart. Okay, so we want to look at the chart in here. So you can see switching to 1 month chart. This one actually sort of make a V turn, but of course after going up so much, the market will pull back in here. So for those of you who is looking for an entry where HATA, Lega, or even Top Glove can go up, the setup is very, very important. If it's not, you're likely to buy at the high, because I don't see this stock is going to go up. Because if you look back in the past 6 months, when it hit 90 cents, right, this market actually turned up. And we can look at the same one also for Kosan. And what you want to do, you just go back up to the list and hit on Kosan 7153. And hit that stock chart, comment, and hit that one again. You can see a lot of these. This is a much better chart. If we look in terms in here, a nice stage 1 recovery, shoots straight up, touches 128 for Kosan, then pull back to 120. It can even go back to as low at this level here around the 116. So if we switch to a 3-month chart, right, this is where it can really go back and test the 116, 112. So for those of you who have some experience in advanced trading, this is the level that you want to buy on the pullback for much it goes. For those of you who have gone in early, like the Hatha Lega, right, since the green pentagon. So let me just bring up the Hatha Lega, hit stock chart, stock comment here. And then you will see this market, right, pulls back up since green pentagon, right. This was a much better entry on the 10th of March. Okay, the market pulled back up, hits 195 this morning in here. Of course, the market has overrun just more than 2 bars. It's going to starting to pull back in here. All right, so look for a better entry. Those of you who want to trade the rubber glove stocks, right, and this would be where I be interested. The 177, 175 level for entry that you see here. Okay. Now on the FA collection, the last Monday that we did, previous Monday, I was away because I wasn't feeling well, so we didn't do it. So we look at 6th of March. 6th of March, we have Wellcore and Lagenda. So let's look at Wellcore and Lagenda previously here. So I think those two stocks didn't, sort of go up, but we do remember the market since 6th of March until now has fallen a fair bit. So you look at the stock chart here, going to stock chart, stock comment. So you can see from here, this is Wellcore. On the 6th of March, the market just dropped slightly. You're switching to a 1-month chart here, and you can see 6th of March was around the 116. Now is about this morning about 113, just dropped slightly 3 points, and the fundamentals still looking pretty decent for stock like Wellcore, giving it a dividend of 6% with the ROE of 28 times. Not a sexy business. Having said that, it's pretty much a lot. I think now Lagenda is a smaller player in the property sector. All right, you can look at the stock chart here again. So switching to a 1-month chart. Since then, the 6th of March was somewhere around here. Yes, 6th of March. But since then, the market has broke down, turned red pentagon already, which means any upside is unlikely to come in, and we are looking for a sideways market here. Unfortunately, this is how the market is. Very, very difficult to trade on just gaining up, because just any small movement you will see a lot of profit taking. With the ROE of 17% and a dividend of 5%, that makes it a pretty decent player for the stocks to go on being a good dividend stocks. Okay, so those are the two stocks that we're looking at, right? And you can also subscribe to our free daily newsletter and get all the SmartRobie thing laid out. Now let's take a look at this week. All right, SmartRobie FA list. That's all we can sort of look for. That's 5 of them, and they are the usual ones: suspect Pentec, Nestle, Uchitech, Westport, and Bursa. All right, so let's take a look at the first one that I like is Pentec. So click on Pentec 5125. Looking at the stock chart, stock comment here. Switch to a 1-month chart. You can see just turned green pentagon, but again, still pretty much on the downtrend. Has a support around the 75 cents. So you can see now we see a bit of test, and it's not going to go up straight. As I said before, most of these are dead cat bounce. For that, let's look at the stock fundamentals. Again, stock fundamental giving it a 6% dividend with a ROE of 14 times, right? A PE of 5.66. So check out the website and see what they do. They do into some sort of steel in there, and that's in there. So not too bad. As I said before, this stock giving it pay 76 cents, so just below $1. So next one we have is Westport, WST. Let's look at Westport, stock chart, stock comment here. Hitting the stock chart. And you can see this one has a big move last Friday, right? And again, could not continue that big up move, and since then taken out by smaller in here. A lot of stocks are just behaving like this, which is, in my opinion, more of a short recovery, short covering in here with an ROE of 21%, dividend of 3%, P or 18 times, not too bad compared to the Pentec. So this is one of those Robie FA stocks with us in here. All right, Westport, you can see here, we just seen this one, and this is the Pentec stock that we have. Right, so as a summary, we are seeing KLCI staging a just short rebound, right, and may need to test more to the downside, the 1500, before moving into a support in here. It's not going to go up like a V recovery as we've seen before, because foreign funds still continue to make many of this outflow in here. Robie FA stock will be my best bet, especially if you are the beginner, to collect some dividend stock while waiting for the longer term in here. For those experienced trader, you can go on using the ST2. Even that I find very difficult, because most of this just go up one day and there's no subsequent follow through for that one. The sentiment continued to be very bearish for the KLCI market. It's been down for almost 30 bars, so we would see a rebound very soon. As such, that the continuation of education is very important, especially this is what we considered during the downtime, where members and many of you want to strengthen your knowledge in the market. What better be to be a member of the VSA 360? You can also sign up for our newsletter, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here for all information. And also to those of you who are interested, our VSA 360 has some of the best feature in the market right now compared to all our competitors in here. And don't forget to join also our Telegram channel. Now let's go over to our stocks to review. If you have any stocks for me to review, feel free to pencil those in there. I'm happy to look into it. Let me know if you have any stocks you want me to look at. All right, if not, thank you for coming this morning in here. I'll catch you again on Wednesday for our live FB in here. Till then, have a good day, and you can stay out. You know, the market isn't looking that promising in here, but the US market, that is something will be happening soon, and I think that will be good to be watching. So that's all I have in here, and don't forget to subscribe to our Telegram chat room and share that in your timeline too. With that, I wish you all the best. Good day and good trading.